Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. We are going to be looking at our hire car that we purchased from Alamo at Orlando Airport today. We purchased a Kia Sorrento. It's actually a 7-seater. We were actually just looking for like some kind of standard SUV. Most of these are usually 5-seaters, but this one's actually 7-seaters, and you could potentially have more in it. Yeah, it's a nice size car, standard SUV, but let's have a look inside. Okay, so it's obviously standard fare. Get inside, it's quite spacious in the front, but obviously we'll have a look at the middle seats first and in the back. So as you can see, there's 2 seats in the very back, and also there are 3 seats in the middle, and they can be adjusted obviously to allow for different sort of leg rooms as well. Obviously there's not a lot of leg room there, but you can just push these slightly further back and you get plenty of leg room here. We've had, I think you can obviously sit 7, but you can easily put in a couple more, possibly. Again, not completely ideal. We actually just looked for a 5-seater. Seen this in the SUV lot. There were a few other things like a GMG, but there was lots of Kias. I think the previous year when we looked there was lots of Ford Edges, but this year there seems to be lots of these Kia cars, and there's certainly a lot of space. But let me move this a little bit forward and we'll show you the boot space. Okay, so this is what the space is like with the actual seats up. There's not an awful lot there. You obviously couldn't really put much suitcases in there, maybe one at best. But you can put like standard like rucksacks and stuff in there, but you can get the seats down easy enough. These are the back 2 seats, you can just pull them. Okay, so with the actual back seats down, obviously it's still a 5-seater, you can fit a lot of bags in here. I think we fit in something like 9 suitcases into the back here, which is absolutely crazy, and a couple of small bags as well, so it has a lot of space. Now this is obviously a lot cheaper to purchase this than one of your maybe Chevrolet Tahoes, Suburbans, all that type of thing that that you find at the airports. But yeah, for a 7-seater, pretty cool. It is classed as a standard SUV as well. The seats back up, you really just pull on the lever there and pull it back up, headrests up, and that is basically it. Very simple, very easy, and it's back into a 7-seater again. You can see there's lots of foot space in the back here. You could fit in a very large adult indeed. Obviously those seats can move. You can see that they can actually move them back a little bit more to get more foot space in the middle, but there's plenty of room in here. There are some USBs here in the back as well, which is quite handy, and some cup holders and that type of thing. Okay, just like most automatic cars, there's some differences. You've got a lever for this one, something you have like a dial. There's a heck of a lot going on, lots of different things. So before you actually set off from the airport, just familiarise yourself with everything that's on the dials and how things set up. The air conditioning obviously being massively important when you're in Florida. And yeah, so let's have a look at the car. We'll start it up and we'll have a quick look at it. This one is just a standard key. Some cars obviously you have buttons and stuff to press, not a bit more automatic, but this one is a key, just like the old-fashioned ones. And yeah, you will probably most likely want to get your air conditioning on right away when you get into the car, because most likely it will be extremely warm. Just beware when you are coming back to your car from the parks, it can be extremely warm. There's a lot of things to look out for on the dash, a lot of things you're probably not going to use. The most important stuff will probably be your air conditioning. This does have a reverse camera as well, which is quite handy when you put the car into reverse. But yeah, obviously it is an automatic. This one is pretty straightforward. Hold down the brake, there's only obviously 2 pedals, brake and accelerator. Hold down the brake to then push down this button, and you can then move it into park, reverse and drive. Don't generally use neutral, but obviously when you're parked it's in P. You're sitting the lights, just hold your foot on the brake generally. Obviously R is reverse, just move it into reverse, take your foot off the brake, you'll roll back and you'll get the parking camera such as this. Okay, so you will get your reverse camera, which is pretty handy. And the doors automatically locked there, as you probably hear. So obviously you want to park again, just press the button in, with your foot on the brake, put it into park and lift your foot off the brake. Obviously you want to drive, it's straight down to D and accelerate. Very straightforward. Obviously when you're at the sort of lights or a junction, just keep your foot on the brake. If you want to move away, just lift your foot off the brake again and press the accelerator. It's very simple to drive. Obviously from back home, if you are used to driving obviously like a gear car, sometimes it does get a little bit confusing, especially initially when you've never been used to driving on automatic before, that you obviously want to do something with your left foot, obviously press the clutch to change a gear, but it will come naturally eventually. It is pretty straightforward. Before you know it, you'll be completely used to it after maybe a couple of hours, and some might be a couple of days, but for me it was pretty straightforward. It's not really too difficult at all. So obviously having a look here, it's standard stuff. You obviously get your indicators, and you've got your wipers on this side as well. It is pretty straightforward. Just familiarise yourself. Obviously it's a new car, you might have to change some of the settings on the dashes and all these buttons. Obviously I'd like to see the speed. It tells you there what your current sort of fuel is. I'm not really sure why there's nothing indicating down here, but the fuel does tell you how many miles you've got left on the current tank. Usual stuff down the left hand side here. You've got obviously your central locking, you've got your windows, that type of thing. Lots of other settings, a lot of automated things that will maybe warn you of obviously going across lanes, your speed, that type of thing. You can change that if you want, but pretty straightforward. Obviously don't forget, you need to get your sun pass at the airport, otherwise you'll end up getting charged some ridiculous amounts while you're going through the actual tolls if you're driving in Florida. So these are pretty easy to pick up. Maybe be prepared before you get to the Orlando airport, download the sort of toll pass app and put in all your details, and it'll be very straightforward. It's actually not a lot. The tolls, I think last time we were here, it probably didn't cost an awful lot at all. You're talking less than $30. It obviously depends how much driving you do, but it's not a lot of money. They do take $10 off your card initially, and that's it. There's not an awful lot involved, but it is pretty straightforward to do. You pick these up from near the Alamo rental place in the airport at Orlando, and just don't forget to drop that off before you go back home. Certainly one of the drawbacks of these cars is there's not an awful lot of vision outside the rear mirror. I certainly haven't been able to use it an awful lot. You can't see a thing really, but obviously utilise your wing mirrors as standard, and that's it. But yeah, that is pretty straightforward. Very easy to drive as well. Obviously the roads are a little bit different. You need to drive on the right hand side of the road. You can turn right on a red unless it says otherwise. Lots of strange rules, but it's very straightforward. If you are obviously a little bit worried about driving in the US, try not to worry, because it is a lot more straightforward than you might think. Just be courteous and just stick to your own thing. A lot of drivers will probably beat you, drive a little bit crazy, but just do your own thing, keep to the rules, and you'll be absolutely fine. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope this helps a little bit, and we'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.